Magnus here, and looks like Sony just announced a new camera. Where did that come from? We all knew it was coming. Here we go. Alright, so previously I was working on a video that had to do with Canon's newly announced camera, which had to do with a couple of different specs and stuff that I actually wanted to talk about. This is Magnus talking about the G1 Power X Shot Magnet 3. So in conclusion, another camera. You can take pictures, you can vlog, take videos with it. Nothing to be excited about. And then as I did the video and I pretty much finished it and was ready to go, you know, I knew that Sony was going to make an announcement, but they did. Unfortunately, I wasn't cool enough to go, but this guy was.
Jared Poland, Frono's photo.
And them.
G is like intermediate, we had a couple of drinks.
But that's all right. I'm in the New York City area. They can't contact me and say, hey, take a cab over to see what this is about. No, fine, whatever. I don't take it personally. But let's talk about the newly announced A7R III from Sony. Now, running down, if you know anything about my videos, I care about DSLR and mirrorless cameras, but what I care about them for is because they're an affordable video camera option as opposed to a cine camera. So let's run down the specs. Boring, 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 boring. Yeah. All right, let's go straight to the nitty gritty. What about the video? Video is back to what was with the A9. It's kind of similar. It's got, of course, with that 42 megapixel sensor, it's using the full frame sensor to record up to 4K video at 30 frames per second. And then you've got 120 frames per second for 1080p HD quality. It's also got in-body stabilization, so hopefully it can get those shots a little bit steadier. And the focus has been improved a little bit, but I hear it's using the same old sensor from the A7RIII. It's just been tweaked a little bit to work a bit better. My thoughts and opinion, blah, 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 blah. Don't really care much. Why? Because this one is mostly designed to compete with the 5D Mark IV when it comes to you know, camera specs, and it's also supposed to compete with the D850, you know, Nikon's D850 for taking photos. Now we all know that Sony split their lines. We've got the A7R II and the A7S II. So now since they announced the A7R III, you could only expect that they're going to announce the A7S III, which would be geared more toward video. Now that's something I'm looking forward to, and I will definitely track the progress of that. I don't want to see the same old, I want to see some upgrades, some competition, because when it comes to spec-wise, I can say nothing comes close to the GH5 at this point when it comes to DSLR or mirrorless competition. GH5 right now is, from a specs perspective, +1. And you've got the A7R II, which I'm sure shoots decent 4K video. You've got S-Log 3 plus a bunch of other picture profiles in it to shoot amazing video. But when you're telling me that you're shooting 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 120 frames per second, like I've spoken about many times before, the NX1 has been doing that since 2014. Let's keep up with the times. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what's new. Let's see what's next from Sony. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys later.